Hi everybody, my name is Anna. Welcome to Fit for Life. Let's get up and get moving. Chair over here. So what you need for supplies today is you need a TheraBand. I'm switching to blue today, so we'll see how that goes. You need a TheraBand, you need your chair, and we're going to be using the wall today. So try to have a patch of wall somewhere in your house close by that you can utilize for, we're going to do some wall push-ups and just a couple really nice little exercises on the wall today. So we're going to start out with our warm-up, nice march on the spot, high knees, get the arms going, and get everything warmed up. Like I said, my name is Anna. I'm an exercise specialist / kinesiologist for the Aspen Primary Care Network. I'm glad that you're here. If you're participating in this video, please do understand that you're doing so at your own risk, and the Aspen PCN is not liable for any damages or injuries that can be incurred during physical activity, okay? Well, during participation with this video. So please take care while you're doing this at your own home. You know yourselves best. Make sure you work at your own pace. If something is too difficult, just wait and see what the next exercise brings. I do try to make modifications for things and make suggestions always for how to modify an exercise to make it easier or to make it harder. So work at your own pace, right? And I'll keep moving, and let's do our polka here. Nice and light on the toes. We have some sunshine coming into my conference room here today. It's always a nice thing. Light on the toes while we do our polka. Good job. We've got good footwear, so we're not slipping anywhere. And once we're able to go dancing again, we'll be ready. We'll be well prepared. Okay? Keep it up. Nice brisk pace. And feel everything warming up. Good job with your polka. Okay, we're gonna do our hip swings. Try not to kick anybody. Nice big swing through the hip. Wonderful. Feel how that stabilizing leg has to do some work. Maybe we can still feel the muscles from the last workout we did. That's okay too. And let's do the other side. And nice swings through the hip. All right. We're going to warm up our shoulders next. So starting with some smaller circles, getting bigger and getting bigger and bigger. I'm trying to keep track of my list here today. And getting smaller through the circles. And then changing direction. Other way. Starting small, getting bigger, and getting smaller again. Okay? Wonderful. All right, so we're going to start out, and I'm going to keep my list over here so I can see what we're doing. It should match up to our little board up here. First thing that we're going to do is wall push-ups. So we're coming up to our wall, and we're going to put our hands at about chest height, maybe a touch lower, right? You're going to make sure that your feet are a little bit further away from the wall, and starting with straight arms, we're going to come on in. Now, I want you to see where your hands are when you come in. I want them to still be at about chest height. If your hands are too high, if you're starting up here, when you come in, they're going to be too high up here, and that's going to put too much pressure on your shoulder. So you're a little bit wider than chest width apart and kind of that lower chest height, so that when you come in, see how I'm staying nice and straight like a board? When you come in, our hands are still at the level of our chest. Okay, making sure that you're breathing. You can do a nice exhale as you push back up. This is a nice way to start with push-ups. You can make this a little bit harder by just inching your feet out a little bit further, or you can make it a little bit easier by bringing your feet a little bit closer to the wall. If you're really ready for a progression, you can lower down to go on your kitchen counter, and that's a really nice way to bring that weight slowly starting to go down. Just make sure you're maintaining that nice straight line, okay? Next we're going to do is working on the hips a little bit. We've done this before. This is a hip stabilizer. So I'm going to, and I hope you guys can see me okay here with the sunshine. I'm going to come down into a bit of a semi-squat. I'm going to shoulder up nice and close to the wall. And we're going to, this knee is bent. I'm about this far down. This knee is bent. This knee, I'm going to pick up and push out into the wall. I'm going to push, 2, 3, 4, 5, and relax. Stand up, take a breath. Semi-squat, bring that knee. I'm now not leaning against the wall. I'm pushing that knee, 3, 4, 5, and relax. We should really feel that on the stabilizing leg. Semi-squat, bring that knee out into the wall, push, 2, 3, 4, 5, relax. One more time, down we go, and pushing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, relax. I'm going to come over to this wall so you can see what I'm doing as we do the other leg now, all right? We're going to come into a semi-squat, nice and close to the wall. Bring that knee up and push, 2, 3, 4, 5, relax. If you want to make this a little harder, stay in your semi-squat while you're relaxing. Bring that knee up, push, 2, 3, 4, 5, relax. We can really feel this now through this stabilizing leg that just did work. Coming on down and push, 2, 3, 4, 5, relax. I'm just counting. I'm not doing different pushes. I'm not doing 5 pushes. I'm pushing and holding. So come on in, push, 2, 3, 4, 5, relax. And let's do one more. Semi-squat, bring that knee against the wall and push, 2, 3, 4, 5, relax. Hope that makes sense for everybody. Good stabilization for the hips. We're going to come back into our wall push-up position, but this time instead of doing push-ups, we're going to do wall supermans. So stabilizing for your back. We're going to do opposite hand and opposite foot is the stuff that we're working across the back always, okay? So make sure you're always opposites. We have to use our brains here a little bit. So in wall push-up position we start, I'm going to take a hand, I'm going to extend, bringing that shoulder blade back and down. I'm going to take my opposite leg, and I'm going to do a big squeeze through that glute, hold, 2, 3, and the other side. Hold, 2, 3, and squeezing that shoulder blade down, really making sure I'm staying nice and square to the wall. So this hand is not flying back here. I'm bringing it up, but then sinking that shoulder blade down, okay? Hope that makes sense. Squeeze, 2, 3, down. Big squeezing through the glutes. Squeeze, 2, 3, and again. Squeeze, 2, 3, and again. Making sure you activate that butt muscle, okay? It's really important in getting that nice cross stabilization across the back. And squeeze and down. And last one, nice squeeze and down. So we're stabilizing in that X pattern across the back. Okay? Next, we're going to do a postural exercise on the wall. So again, I hope you guys can see this and that it carries across okay on video. But we're going to, again, I got the sun shining at me here. We're going to lean against the wall now. I don't care where your feet are, but your hips are going to be against the wall. I want you to think about bringing your shoulders nicely back where they're supposed to be. And then what you're going to do is you're going to, most of us are very loose into our chins throughout the day. What we're going to do here is we're going to tuck your chin slightly down. So I'm not looking down like that. I'm just, rather than sitting here like this, bringing my shoulders back, tucking my chin in slightly, and then I'm going to retract and go straight towards the wall. So use your hand for guidance. We're really making this wonderful, attractive double chin is what we're doing, kind of. Make sure that your shoulders, so relax, and we're only going to hold this for about 3 to 5 seconds at a time. Shoulders are nicely back and down. Chin is going to tuck, so my gaze is very flat on the horizon, not up here looking at the sun. I'm going to keep my gaze very flat. I'm not looking down. I'm very straight here, and I'm retracting towards the wall. Hold, 2, 3, relax. We're working on the deep neck flexors here in the front, strengthening those and stretching the very high cervical muscles in the very top of the neck there. So quite often we're very weak in the front and tight in the back. So this is a very good exercise, but be careful with it. One more time. Tuck slightly and retract. And you might not be able to reach the wall while keeping that chin tucked. That's okay. Keep your shoulders down. Because what I don't want to see is I don't want to see this happen. You see how I'm very loose into my chin here. We're just hinging. So you might not reach the wall, and that's okay. This is a great exercise to have in your toolbox, especially if you do have problems with your neck, if you do suffer from a fairly forward head posture, which most of us do fall into this, right? So tuck, nice little double chin here, and retract. Okay? All right, next one we're going to do is work on those big leg muscles. We're going to do some wall sits. Again, I hope you guys can see me okay with the sunshine here. We're going to now bring our feet a nice little distance away from the wall. You can lean on your wall. It can take your weight, okay? We're going to bring our feet far enough away from the wall, because if your feet are too close, if you're only this far away from the wall, as soon as you come down, your knees will go over the level of your toes and you're going to give yourself knee pain. So lean against that wall, bring your feet far enough away. My feet are, just like with my squats, a little bit wider than hip width apart. And we're going to come on down just as far as you're comfortable. Maybe that's only a little bit. Remember, you need to push back up, okay? So we're sinking down. Ideally, I want you to get into this 90 degrees, and we're just going to hold our wall sit here. I want you to think about nice core engagement. Look at your knees. Are they nice and straight out over your feet? Are you stacked well with your ankles? Are your ankles nice with your hips and your knees? Keep holding and push yourself back up. All right, let's do a couple slides now in between before we do our next sit. Just sinking down and coming back up. Feel how much friction we've got on the wall there. Do it again and come on back up. If this is too hard, don't sink down quite so far. Maybe just do a quarter sit and pushing on back up. That's fine. All right? If you can, come down a little further. And again, one more before we go into another wall sit. Come on back up. And now prepare yourself. We're going to stay down here for a little bit again. Nice stacking in through our joints here. Pay attention to your posture. Make sure your hips are on the wall. I don't want those hips to come forward. That's not fun for my knees even when I'm demonstrating it. Big muscles in through the legs here. Engage your core. It's a good time to work on pelvic floor exercises here too. There's so many places we can go. Push on back up and relax. Take a few breaths. We're going to do one more sit before we get to go sit in our chair there, all right? So last one, coming on down. I mentioned this is a nice time to work on pelvic floor exercises as well. So you can engage that pelvic floor. Those are that kind of stop the pee muscles. You can think about that. You can think about good core engagement here. It's going to really help. And again, checking in, what are your feet doing? Are you kind of clawing the floor with your toes, or how relaxed are your feet? If you want to give yourself a challenge, bring your one foot up and see if you can do the other foot, okay? And good job. Try it again if you can. If not, that's fine. If you're already out, that's okay. Come on back up. Great job. We're going to come sit down in our chair and do some band exercises here. Okay. So, like I said, I have increased my band today. So, darker bands typically means heavier resistance. So, if you've got your TheraBand from us here at the PCN, green is kind of intermediate, blue is the next step up, red is a little bit lighter than green. So if you feel like you're ready to progress, come on in and we can get you new bands. You can also find them on the internet, Amazon, all kinds of stuff. So the first one we're going to do is an external rotation. So this is working on the rotator cuff muscles. We're going to keep our elbows tucked and elbows bent at 90 degrees. Thumbs are going to be pointing up, and we're going to bring the hands apart, okay? A lot of talking. All right, so squeezing. I'm gonna come do a side view here for you guys so you can see how nicely I am at 90 degrees. Those elbows stay tucked as good as possible, and you're not going to get a ton of range, and that's okay. All right. Slow and controlled with our band. I can sure feel the difference from the green to the blue. All good. Keep those elbows tucked. And the first few we did should have felt pretty easy. By now, we should be feeling like we've been doing some work. A little bit of a burn in through that pocket of the shoulder blade. All right. Good job. Okay, let's move onto our seated row. So bringing your feet, I like to straighten my legs out in front of me. My feet are on the floor. I'm going to loop that band around my feet, and we're going to row our boat. Good posture, nicely towards our chest. We're making sure that we're really doing a good squeeze with the shoulder blade here. On my shadow here, my posture. Make sure you're not doing this where we're hoisting, okay? Or this kind of thing. Relax your shoulders, bring them down, and your hands are pulling towards your chest. Shoulder blades are squeezing together nicely. I'm going to turn to the side here so you can see a little better. Legs straight in front. Nice row here. And do a few more. Again, with our resistance, we're thinking the first few repetitions are pretty easy. By the time we get to the last few repetitions, we're starting to feel some fatigue in through the muscles. And if you're not feeling that fatigue, if it's taking you really long to get to that point, maybe it's time to go up with your band, okay? Next one, bringing that band behind your back. I like to tuck it under my armpits here. We're going to start at the chest, shoulders stay down, good posture again, and we're going to come straight out and slowly coming back. So making sure with these bands that you're always really controlling the release, because we get so many good strength benefits from that controlled release. Okay, a few more. Good posture. These are the same muscles that we worked with our wall push-ups. So doing some good work in through the chest today. And good. Next, we're going to do our bicep curls. I'm just going to stay inside view for you here. We're going to now have our feet on the floor, standing on that band. And we're going to keep our elbows tucked and just hinging at the elbows, bringing those hands up towards us. Nice curl. Now, if you start to hoist, oh goodness, if you start to hoist or anything like that, or if you're bringing your back into it, maybe slow it down and just do one hand at a time. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? We're going to just make sure our quality of movement is really good. Those elbows are staying put where they're supposed to be. Turn to the front here. Elbows are staying put, staying tucked, and we're slowly releasing. Full extension. Great job. Okay, let's do our tricep extensions. So taking that band in one hand, anchoring it over to the opposite shoulder. I just take one tail of the band and I'm going to, again, keep the elbow tucked, and we're going to straighten that arm out and slowly back up. Straighten out, slowly back up. So that elbow stays tucked, shoulder stays down, really working on controlling that release. You're not letting it spring back up, all right? This is not a race. We're not racing for reps. We're just focusing on really good quality of movement, okay? I can feel a little bit more of that shake with this blue band. It's a little heavier than the green. And good. We're going to now take the band in our other hand. So the arm that was just working, we're going to hold on to the band now. Anchor it to your other shoulder and keeping that elbow tucked. Nice high grip on your band. We're going to come straight down. Okay, hope you guys can see this good. Nicely down. Keeping that elbow tucked. Good job. Nicely down. Good posture. Make sure that shoulder is not drifting up towards the ear. We've got our good posture always here. Slow release. Push down. Slow release. Good job. And relax. Okay. Wonderful. All right. So that's it for the band. We're going to do some basic flutter kicks here for our core exercise today. So making sure that we stay really nicely engaged. We're going to do a nice, I like to sit further forward in my chair, but you can make this easier by sitting further back. So I'll turn to the side here so you guys can see. But I'm going to be a little further forward, nice and engaged through the core, semi-reclined, bringing those feet up and flutters. Okay, I like to keep a hand on my abdomen here just to make sure that I'm not feeling any kind of bulging, or sometimes things start to cone a little bit. If you've suffered from any abdominal separation before, making sure we're really engaged through our back. Keep going. See if you can slow it down. Remember to breathe. Go a little faster and relax. Okay? Like I said, ways you can make this easier for yourself is to come a little further back in your chair. Maybe you even sit back against the back of your chair. And for some people, this is enough of a challenge. You work where you are at, and you want to feel again like the first bit is pretty easy. And by the time we're reaching the end, we're feeling some fatigue in through that core. Okay? Make sure you keep breathing. We tend to really want to hold our breath during core exercises, and relax. We're going to do one more round. Try and engage those glutes. So squeeze through your seat. I always say smile is all four cheeks. I had a horseback riding instructor who always said that's how we get going. We gotta smile, okay? So nice and semi-reclined, staying engaged, making sure you keep breathing. Let's pick on up. Squeeze those glutes and keep going. Slow down. See how much harder it is when we slow down the exercise and go a little faster, okay? Keep going. Feel that fatigue in through those muscles. Don't collapse your back. Keep going. Whew, and make sure you're breathing, okay? Let's get on up and do some balance exercises. We try to incorporate balance into our class every time. Check in with your tandem stand. Tandem means that you're standing heel to toe on a nice line here, okay? I really like to do balance exercises in the kitchen because the kitchen counter is a nice height to hold on to, but having a chair close by is okay too. So check in, see how you are. Do you need the chair for support the entire time? Can you do less and less fingers? Are you feeling fairly confident in tandem stand without any support? Okay, do the other side. Checking on in. All right, see how we feel. How are we doing? All right. Okay, we're going to take a little pose out of the yoga routine here and do a tree pose for our one foot stand today, for our one leg stand. So we're going to start out by finding our one leg stand first. So I like to kind of wiggle around on my one foot. Again, check your hips, making sure you're not sagging through this hip, but we're staying engaged. All right, keeping this leg nice and loose. Your chair's close by. Now we're going to take this loose foot and you can either put it on your lower calf if you want. That's a nice place to start. If you need to keep your toe on the floor, that's okay too. Even hips. If you can put it on your inner calf, that's great. And then we're going to take one hand at a time and bring them up. And see if you can bring the other hand up. And we've got our nice tree pose here. Try and stay even through those hips and activated. And give your tree a little bit of a wave. How far can we wave? And coming on out. We can feel how that foot had to work there. It's fun to have fun with balance exercises. All right, the worst thing that happens is we put our foot down and we're okay. So let's do the other foot. So finding our one leg stand, making sure that our hips are nicely activated and we're not sagging here. Make sure that you're activated and you're even. Your chair's close by if you need it. Now see where you want to put that foot. Do you need it lower down? Do you need the toe for support? Or can you bring it to the inner thigh? Check your hips. So important with balance. All right, starting with one hand again. You're going to bring it nicely up and see if you're comfortable. Bringing the other hand up. And we're going to have a nice tree pose here and give your tree a little wave in the wind. Enjoy the sunshine. I usually record these a couple days before I post them, so I really hope it's sunshiny when this video gets posted. All right, big stretch and relax. Great job, you guys. We're going to come on down and do our stretches. Let's stretch our calves actually before we sit down. So using my chair, I'm going to take a nice big step back, keeping that heel on the floor and just sinking into that front leg. I'm never bouncing any stretches, okay? Not safe for our purposes. Switch your legs, do the other side. Heel is on the floor, toes are both pointing forward. Big stretch. If I do a smaller stretch, I'm not necessarily going to feel anything. So use that chair for balance. Don't be scared to take a nice big stretch. Plant that heel. Other side. Big stretch. Big step. And leaning gently, sinking into this front leg. And the other side. Okay. Nicely sinking into this front leg. Okay. Good job. We're going to sit down and do our other stretches. Starting out with the neck. My hand is going to go behind the back and drawing that ear towards the shoulder. And if you're not comfortable bringing that hand behind the back, just bringing it to the side of your chair is fine. Sometimes people like to actually hold on to the bottom of their chair while they do this. So you can give that a try. Just hold on to your chair and bring your ear toward your shoulder. Changes the stretch just a little bit. You decide what works best for you. Okay? And again, stretches we typically hold for 20 to 30 seconds. repeating about 2 to 3 times. So keep that in mind when you're stretching on your own. Sometimes we do go a little bit faster in class. All right, I'm gonna do a nice twist here. Big twist. All the way from my seat to my crown. I'm really working on looking with my head where I'm going. This is a great little stretch, especially for our shoulder checks when we're driving. Nice twist. Get that chest involved. Stretching this side back. Okay, I like to hold on to the back of my chair and really get that chest involved as well. All right, we're going to do a nice little side stretch. Oh, big reach. Really like this one in the mornings. Big stretch. Nice side stretch here. Don't fall off your chair. All right. And let's do our hips. So we're going to do our hip flexors today. I'm going to come to the side of my chair. I'm going to draw this leg all the way back. So I'll turn to the side here for you guys. So I'm on the chair entirely with this butt cheek and this leg. I'm drawing this leg back and really bringing that heel back as far as I can. And I'm feeling a nice stretch in through the front of the leg here. Nice modified lunge. We're getting a great hip flexor stretch here, but we're not having to do all of that work. We're trying not to fall over in our lunge. Okay, let's do the other side. I'll do a side view again for you here. So really making sure that you're still on your chair with this leg and we're reaching back as good as we can. I'm really thinking about pushing that heel back and creating space, good posture, and we're feeling that stretch really nicely in through the front of the hip here. Great little modified lunge. All right, let's do the other side. And if you need to, if this is bothering your back, maybe try just bracing yourself on that front leg a little bit, remembering to push back there. Okay. And again, on the other side. Bringing that foot back. Nice space here. Really drawing back that heel. And usually you'll find one side you feel it a lot more than the other. That's really common. My left hip here is always tighter than the other side. And this is a great little remedy for it. Okay, let's stretch out our hamstrings, plant the heel, engage the toe, sitting nice and tall and hinging forward. I'll just go to the side here so you can see nice hinge. Very open still through the chest, drawing forward from the belly button. We're not curling through our back. All right, good posture is so important. Other side, plant the heel, engage the toe, sitting tall and hinging forward. All right. A lot of people get really tight in through these hamstrings. Other side, plant the heel, engage the toe, sitting tall and hinge. We're going for a big stretch down through the back of the leg, all the way into the foot. Really important, again, always to maintain that posture. All right. Last one here, plant the heel, engage the toe. I'm not locking this knee. I'm kind of almost making a muscle with this knee here. I'm drawing that kneecap up towards me and I'm just hinging nicely from the hip, okay? There's no curling of the back. As soon as I do that, I lose that stretch in through my hips. Good posture. So important, so necessary to be getting that stretch to be effective where we want it to be. Okay, great. So I'm going to try my very best to keep new videos coming every Tuesday and Thursday at 1 o'clock, just like class. But once the videos are up, they're up, and you can watch them at any time. So I hope you guys are staying well. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to contact me, call the office, drop a comment, carrier pigeon, whatever works for you. And until next time, stay safe and stay healthy, and we'll catch you guys soon.